the Venerable Dr. Phra Shakyavongsvisuddhi. He is the Deputy Rector for Foreign Affairs, Mahamaku Buddhist University.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Sawadee krap tuk tan. This is an everyday greeting in Thai language, which simply means, may you all be happy. Perhaps this is why Thailand came to be the least miserable country in the world once again, according to the Bloomberg's Misery Index 2017. How about you this morning? Are you all happy to attend this happiness convention? If you are not so sure about it, please turn yourself towards your next person, right and left, and give him or her an innocent smile. And greet him and her with the word Sawadee, or may you be happy. A smile is a simple indication of happiness, but it is so contagious that it can make everyone smile and be happy without any serious effort and purpose. When I was a young novice, my master once gave me some practical advice. Every morning, he asked me to do first thing, even before I brushed my teeth, is to look in the mirror and smile to myself. Master, I protested. I don't want to look at my sleepy and moody face the first thing in the morning. Some morning I would be frightened to look at myself in the mirror, let alone smile. He compassionately advised, if you cannot manage a natural smile, then take your 2 index fingers, place one on each corner of your mouth, and push up like this. And he showed me. He looked ridiculous. I giggled. He ordered me to try it, so I did. In the next morning, I tried, but natural smile was another good start. So I took my 2 index fingers, placed one on each corner of my mouth, pushed up. Then I saw this stupid young novice making a silly face in the mirror, and I couldn't help grinning. Once there was a natural smile, I saw the novice in the mirror smiling at me. So I smiled back even more. The man in mirror smiled back even more. In a few seconds, we ended up laughing together in happiness. We can try these 2-finger tricks any time of the day. It is especially useful when we feel sick, fed up, or downright depressed, which is a normal phenomena of our daily life, isn't it? Laughter has been proven to release endorphins into our bloodstreams, which strengthen our immune system and make us feel happy. Well, it is personally quite nostalgic for me to be back here again after 5 years of initiative work we did on the Happiness Summit in 2012. I was invited to be a panelist at the high-level meeting on the economics paradigm, happiness and well-being by the Honorable Prime Minister of Bhutan of that time. It was the first UN high-level meeting on happiness ever held. We all knew that it was the first time in our history that UN got interested on things like happiness, although it has been the ultimate goal of everyone in this planet. I guess better late than never. I'm so happy that one of the suggestions we made from that summit is finally materialized in a global scale, that is, like today, the International Day of Happiness, with the leading initiations of this esteemed UN organization. Happiness could mean 100 things to 100 peoples, but it is something everyone is yearning for. Someone say, happiness is something personal and private, just confirmed by Honorable Rumi. But many times we can see that when we pursue for happiness, the happiness itself fooled us. Imagine, how have we grown ourselves? When you are a child, the parents and teacher advise you not to waste your time in playing ground, but to stay at home instead of giving the time to your homework, although it was against your will, against your happiness. They explained that, how important the schooling is, and how if you did well, then you would be happy. This act of pursuit for happiness goes on in your life non-stop by saying if you did well in college, university, job, marriage, and so on, then you would be happy. So it's always we were given that hope in the future. And what happened? Finally, before you retired, and certainly after, you started become religious, suddenly, and going to church. Have you ever noticed how many old people occupy the pews in a church? Once I asked them why they were now going to church. They told me, because when I die, then I will be happy. For those who believe that, when I get this, then I'll be happy, their happiness will be just a dream in future. It would be rainbow 1 or 2 steps ahead, but forever just out of reach. They will never in their life or after realize happiness. Therefore, if you want to be happy, act now, experience here and now. Once I was approached by a very sad man and requested, I want happiness. As a Buddhist monk, I simply calm him down and tell him to do things step by step. Sir, first remove I, that is ego. Then remove want, that is desire. That person started to stare at me doubtfully. Then I asked him, what is left now? He burst in laughing and answered, happiness. Then I said, bless you. You have just found what you are pursuing for. Therefore, happiness is sometimes no need to be pursued for. It is within us from the day we were born. Don't need much for a newly born child to smile at you with happiness. Unlike us, who has grown up and we totally forget that we were born with a quality of happiness and now ended up in pursuing for it. I love the Sanskrit word for happiness, sukha. Etymologically, it simply means ease. The very capacity of human being able to change one's mindset to be at ease. On the contrary, the word dukkha simply means disease, or the very weakness of human being that can't stand with the situation. Therefore, happiness is something innate to human beings, but it is blocked by our wrong way of living, wrong perceptions. The true happiness has 2 phases, material and mental happiness. To be genuinely happy, we need to be balanced both with material and mental happiness. In action, I guess, is what the UN has announced as for our global agenda as sustainable development goal. In another word, SDG is a means of genuine happiness. In simplification, I would say with SDG, it makes us glee. G for good life, L for liberty, E for economic security, and another E for enjoyment of wealth. These are the core values which makes every one of us happy. This is something every government should develop as the basis of all our policy. Although happiness may seem a private matter, but it is also a result of public policy. We become who we are in subject to another man whom we interact with. Therefore, national government is directly responsible for happiness of her population. In Sanskrit, again, the etymology of king, or modern word for government, is someone who creates happiness for his subject. In other words, a very task of the government is to secure happiness for every single people in the country. So as a government, do we ever give priority in our national policy to happiness above anything else? Today, I'm so happy just to sit next by Her Excellency, Madam Rooney, who is Minister of Happiness? I wish every government has this position and gear the whole cabinet policy with the guidance from this ministry so that we can materialize the public policy of happiness. In addition to the International Day of Happiness, one of the other suggestions we submitted at 2012, the Happiness Summit, was the very public policy of happiness. We were suggesting that we should establish a happiness bank for a public benefit. This could be done both through a government or NGO. This bank's work is to encourage communities to do small things which can ensure communal happiness with communal initiative anywhere in the world. As a Thai, I would like to share with you that Thailand has been working hard to achieve happiness through SDG, not only to respond to the UN agenda, but we have been developing the public policy of happiness a long ago, even before the UN has announced the SDG. Thailand has developed her own version of SDG, which is popularly known as the Sufficiency Economic Philosophy, or SEP. SEP was the graceful legacy of the late His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej, who was recognized by the UN as the development king. The heart of SEP is a public happiness, which radiates our individual happiness. When the late Thai king developed the idea of Sethakit Phawphien, of sufficiency economy, he was pointing out that what are the noble activities which can create happiness for all. Actually, the word Phawphien, basically, which we translate in English as sufficiency, it is a synonym of happiness. And the word Sethakit, which in English translated as economy, it is the very term what we call noble activities. Just like the economic in English etymology, the management of household. Therefore, the king's idea is that in order to make everyone happy, we have to go through the 3 steps. That is, one is sanity, make ourselves a normal human being as we have to be, we're supposed to be. Another is spirituality, basically means that the mindfulness that will be able to really develop your resiliency within your life, and the idea of sustainability. That is the whole idea of balancing things from material to mental happiness. So this is how I think that we have to develop our public policy as an example which is shown by the late Majesty King of Thailand to Thailand and many other countries. And this is how we can easily achieve the happiness for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sakya-Vongsi-Sudi. Definitely we will remember these 3 concepts: sanity, spirituality, and sustainability.